Okay, you're back with us in Republic. So, please repeat again what you just said because our audience might have missed it.
Under Article 13 on fiscal powers and financial administration, Section 8, under the Federal Intergovernmental Commission, a Federal Intergovernmental Commission is hereby created, composed of the chairman and 14 members.
Okay.
Pagkatapos, if you go ahead, mababasa mo, one from the Federated Region of the Cordilleras to be appointed by the Bangsamoro Parliament. Ano kinalaman ng Bangsamoro sa Cordillera? Ang layo-layo. Bakit yung Bangsamoro Parliament
ang nakikialam
ang mag-a-appoint kung sino magiging member for the Cordilleras ng Intergovernmental Commission? At bakit tinatawag na Intergovernmental Commission? Ibig sabihin, bawat region hindi na siya under one government. Intergovernment, parang between Indonesia and the Philippines, between US and the Philippines. Hindi na siya, dapat ito intragovernmental.
Ang tanong ko ito, is the Cordillera part of the Bangsamoro?
Maybe that is their plan in the
Pero
future.
Pero Cordillera is up north.
Very, very far. But remember,
okay.
The Bangsamoro can get bigger in the future.
Yes, under the, kasi it can extend, no?
Siguro, they are thinking
Papayag ba yung mga taga-Cordillera na Bangsamoro ang mag-appoint sa kanila? Hindi, I'm just asking, no? Ano pa ka...
Well, I'd just like to mention here na itong...
Magkakaroon ba ng double taxation? Para na mo?
Although, sinasabi dito na wala daw, pero I really doubt.
Kasi the state can create its own taxation, di ba?
Yes. So how can you... Although, sinasabi dito, bawal ang double taxation, baka mamaya it will be observed more in its violation than in its observation.
Because I remember before, no? Kasi yung iba nakapunta sa US naman, yung sales tax sa New York mas mataas. Kaya yung iba pumupunta ng New Jersey. Kasi sa US, mas mababa yung sales tax. Kung meron kang bibili na isang produkto daw, if you're going to buy a particular product, it will come out more expensive in New York because of the sales tax. State,
Kasi
no?
nga, parang independent country bawat state.
So if you go to New Jersey, mas mababa yung sales tax for the same product. Kaya ang iba pumupunta ng New Jersey para bilhin yun. Now, can that happen also in this case?
Of course. Kasi binibigyan mo ng tremendous powers yung bawat state or region. Although they're calling it region, pag binasa mo yung the entire proposed constitution, is practically a state with all its powers and functions.
Okay. Now, next thing. What will happen to the president and vice president?
They will be voted under some sort of a block voting system. Whoever wins the presidency...
Whoever votes for the president is a vote for the vice president?
Yes. The vice presidential tandem will be automatically elected also.
One team?
Yes.
So parang sa US yan. It's similar to the US where you vote for the president is a vote for the vice president.
But that is against the culture of the Filipinos.
Nandyan dyan?
Yes, nandito.
Baka mahanap just in case kasi baka sabihin ng mga tao, ini-inventa mo for yung
sa
mga...
executive department.
Nakalagay. May mga kilala ako mukhang ayaw sa ganun kasi gusto nila may parang check and balance din sa between the president and vice president.
The vice president.
Ngayon if they also like the vice president, this gives them the freedom to also choose the vice president that is also supportive of the president. If they like the president, they'll vote also for, di ba?
Yes. The president and the vice president shall be elected by direct vote of the people for a term of 4 years, etc., etc. The president and the vice president shall be elected as a team. Okay. A vote for the presidential candidate shall be counted as a vote for the vice presidential candidate. You will thus be depriving the people of their right to choose who is the vice president they want.
The widest latitude for the Filipinos to express its sense of who they want to serve as president and vice president.
And there will be more balancing of powers and counter-checking, checks and balances.
That's Article
8 under the Executive Department, Section 4, letter C, subsection C. The president and the vice president shall be elected as a team. A vote for the presidential candidate shall be counted as a vote for his vice presidential candidate. And this is repeated in the regions. A vote for the governor shall be counted as a vote for the vice governor.
Nakalagay yan dyan?
Yes, but because this is very thick.
So therefore, if you vote for the governor, that's a team vote. You will end up voting for the vice governor as well.
Even if that vice governor did not actually win. Because
I understand what you're saying. Lalo na kung nagkaroon ng daya, no?
kahit na walang dayan, halimbawa, hindi siya yung pinakamaraming boto among the vice presidential candidates. Hindi siya ang gusto ng tao. Pero dahil nanalo yung teammate niya na presidente, automatic vice president na siya kahit ayaw sa kanya ng tao.
So looking back, I won't mention any names. Let's say looking back into our history, if there is a president na pinagdudahan natin, we are doubtful whether he or she really won in that election. Under these conditionalities, if he or she won in an election which is actually fraudulent because of the computerized system, no, her vice president becomes also vice president.
Yes.
Vice presidential candidate becomes vice president.
Yes. For example,
So dalawa ang dinaya ng Piko sa mangyayari nito. Parang gano'n, ano?
parang
More or less.
gano'n, no?
Ha?
Nadali na yung presidency, nadali pa yung vice presidency.
Parang gano'n, ano? Gano'n din sa governor at vice governor, di ba?
Paano yan? Halimbawa, yun nga, sa Region 1, wala nang pag-asa talaga yung mga taga Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, La Union na ano.
Who will decide where the federal capital will be for every region? Wala din nakalagay dyan?
Wala. Maaaring regional assembly. Maaari.
Sila? Ang magdi-decide. How does the regional assembly look like there?
Well,
sa pagkabasa mo?
More on parang parliamentary system nga eh.
Parliamentary pa rin?
Medyo parang sabog eh. Kasi yung national niya, presidential. Pero yung regional niya, parang parliamentary.
Wait, is our national federal government parliamentary or presidential?
Our federal is presidential.
May presidente?
Oo, pero sa Bangsamoro...
Pero di ba may prime minister? If I'm not mistaken, may prime minister dito?
Walang
prime minister to, okay.
Pero sa Bangsamoro, merong equivalent ng prime minister at saka meron din sila sariling parang presidente nila, yung symbolic head of state nila.
Okay.
So,
wali. Andiyan pa rin yung wali, wala na?
Hindi nila binabanggit dito exactly, pero yung kasing Bangsamoro Organic Law ay i-attach sa Constitution as an appendage to the Constitution.
Ganon? So how can it be an appendage? Here is now the thing that I'm going to ask you. How can it be an appendage? Under this Bayanihan Federalism, dalawang federal state ang Bangsamoro o isa lang?
Isa lang, pero...
Dito sa consultative, isa lang?
Isa lang ang Bangsamoro. Oo. Hindi dalawa. Katulad ng panahon ni Marcos, dalawa yung autonomous region in Muslim Mindanao. Dalawa.
Plano sa ano? Yes.
Nagawa yun nung panahon ni Marcos.
Okay.
In fact, naging assemblyman si Altila nun. If I'm not mistaken.
So in this case, there's also one Bangsamoro?
Ito,
under the federal?
Yung Tausug at saka yung Maguindanao, Maranao, pinagsama-sama sa isang... kasi
Now question, why will the BOL become part of the appendage of the Constitution when the BOL is already incorporated in the Constitution?
At the present time, actually, parang unconstitutional nga yung Bangsamoro at with the present Constitution that we have. So maybe because they want it to be constitutional, they want to amend the Constitution to make the Bangsamoro certainly constitutional. So that's why there is a Bangsamoro and Cordillera provision here. I will read section 25 under the Bangsamoro and Cordillera provision. The Bangsamoro Organic Act, signed by the President and duly ratified through plebiscite, is appended as an ordinance, Ordinance 2. Ibig sabihin, pangalawang ordinance. Ibig sabihin, merong unang, of the Federal Constitution.
Okay.
Okay, so...
it's an ordinance or is it an amendment?
Appended. An ordinance appended to the Constitution. Usually, pag sinabi mong ordinance appended to the Constitution, usually yan na lang yung mga division ng mga ilang congressman ba sa ganitong lugar.
Okay.
Pero ito, nilalagyan niya ng yung Bangsamoro Organic Law ay gagawing ordinance appended to the Constitution. At dito, kinikreate na yung Cordillera without any consultation with the Cordillera people. Remember,
Wala na?
Iba, ilang beses.
Wala nang plebiscite para sa Cordillera?
Wala na. Nakalagay na dito, there is hereby created the Bangsamoro and the federated region of the Cordillera.
Ibasahin what section, article para
okay.
alam ng mga tao na you're not making this up.
Article 11,
Okay.
the title is Federated Regions, the Bangsamoro, and the Federated Region of the Cordilleras.
Okay.
Letter D, under letter D, which is entitled Bangsamoro and Cordillera.
Okay,
Section 23, under this letter D, there is hereby created the Bangsamoro and the Federated Region of the Cordilleras,
Okay.
which shall recognize the ethnicity, culture, religion, customs, traditions, language.
Automatically created.
Automatically created. The Federal Constitution acknowledges the asymmetrical character of the Bangsamoro and the Federated Region of the Cordillera. Why is it that you are giving asymmetrical character only to Bangsamoro and Cordilleras? How
Yes.
about the other regions?
Yes.
They will enjoy a higher form of independence than the other regions.
Okay,
So
ito-
there is an equal treatment of the law.
Saan na ngayon? What will happen now? We are creating a Bangsamoro. Okay, I understand that. But again, the Sulu Archipelago people, 2018 also came up together and they came up with a consensus. They want the creation of a Bangsasug. It's called a Bangsasug. They don't want to be part of the Bangsamoro. They want to be called the Bangsasug. What happens to that?
They have to amend first the Constitution before they can do that. If
Oh.
this Constitution is approved. But under the present Constitution, they can already do that because it is not prohibited. There can be 2 autonomous regions in Muslim Mindanao because the regions, the word regions in the present Constitution is plural.
Okay. So that they don't have to be part of the Bangsamoro if they don't like. Kasi Bangsasug ang gusto nila eh.
No, if this Constitution is approved,
They'll be under the Bangsamoro.
yes, unless they first amend this Constitution. So it will be practically impossible for them to have their own autonomous region.
Kaya magulo talaga ito.
And therefore, this will create more animosity.
Yeah, there is always that word, Imperial Manila, Imperial Manila. Under this, wala nang Imperial Manila.
But I think there will be Imperial Kuala Lumpur here.
Bakit Kuala
Because you're putting into the Constitution the asymmetrical character of the Bangsamoro, which is what the Malaysians want.
Ito, itatanong ko sa ito, Ferdy, no? Under the present 1987 Constitution, specifically Article 10, Section 19, it's very specific there. Only the first Congress can create the first Congress can create the ARMM and the Cordilleras.
Yes. That's why
So itong BOL,
there's a question of
constitutionality.
Yes.
So if somebody will file a case based on Article 10, Section 19 of the present Constitution, and the BOL is found to be unconstitutional, what appendage, what ordinance will you include in this proposed Constitution? Wala.
But the problem is, if this Constitution is ratified by the Filipino people, this becomes higher than a Supreme Court decision.
Okay.
Therefore, the Supreme Court decision in validating or declaring the Bangsamoro provision you mentioned will be null and void. This Constitution will prevail. That's why my theory is why they want to amend the Constitution is to ensure that all the provisions of the Bangsamoro
Will be approved.
Will be constitutional and legal.
Okay. Final word, Ferdy. Kasi yun nga, everybody is saying, oh, we want to have the power of the purse, authority to be able to do and create our own destinies. You presented this to us. Ano tingin mo?
Well, this will create more problems than solutions because number one, sa taxes, the people will be burdened more with heavier taxes. As of now, gumagapang na sa hirap ang mga tao dahil ang tax ay mayroong domino effect.
Question, what is the concept of stare decisis or jurisprudence change under 4 Supreme Courts?
That's the problem also, no? Yun nga,
Magbabago na naman lahat.
pati nga yung decision ng Supreme Court regarding pork barrel, the much hated pork barrel I think in my humble opinion, pag naging constitution natin ito, mababaliwala yun. Maraming mga Supreme Court decisions ang mababaliwala.
Okay.
Once, kasi ito ang magpre-prevail dahil siyempre sasabihin nila, this is the will of the Filipino people.
Isa lang masasabi ko dyan, Ferdy, before I say goodbye, sana wag Smartmatic ang gamitin natin sa plebisito.
Malamang
Tama.
Smartmatic ang gagamitin.
Anyway, wala na ho tayong panahon. Ako po si Eric Espina, palaging nagsasabi, magmasid, makialam, higit sa lahat ay manindigan. Dahil wala pong magmamahal sa Pilipino kung hindi ang Pilipino. Daghang salamat, mahing gabi, kaninyong tanan.